Hi, folks. Hope you're all good. Just thought I'd talk today briefly about legalese. Legalese, as perhaps I should pronounce it. Some of you may be unfamiliar with the term legalese. It is the language that lawyers speak. So if you read a legal document or a piece of law, you'll notice that it's a bit hard to understand. It's written in a slightly weird form of English. So, I'd like to talk about why I think the law shouldn't be written in legalese, and also I'd like to argue another issue to do with at least British law. I don't know about other countries, but an issue to do with the number of laws we have in Britain. So, first of all, legalese. It seems to me that, well, whenever I've tried to read a law, like find out a bit about the law by actually reading what the law is, I've run into, well, two problems. First problem is that it's written in a language I don't quite understand. Now, that is a big problem if the people who are governed by the law, by laws, if I'm any kind of example, can't understand the laws that are governing them, and they need an expert to explain, to translate, as it were, those laws. Now, people might argue that legalese is very clear and it's unambiguous. I believe that might be the case, but it's entirely possible to write unambiguous English. And even if there is some ambiguity in English inherently, you can always write something again and again, giving a few practical examples. You can always explain a bunch of rules, such as the rules that govern the country. So to use an everyday example, most of you will have played board games at some point and probably learnt a new board game or got a new board game. Nobody who's playing it, everybody's playing it for the first time. Somebody reads the rules, and there's usually some confusion over what the rules are. But the rules are always written in plain English, and if they're any good, they've made it clear what the game is. Now, the law of the land isn't really fundamentally that much more complicated than the rules of a board game, I believe. Obviously, there's a bit more to them. They cover. There's going to be more rules to an entire country than of one board game. But board games are tricky. They are abstract, and it is hard to put these things into words. But they're nearly always successful in doing that when they make board games. And as I said, you can always give lots of practical examples, and I think you can make it pretty clear. So, the second point about the law in the UK is that there are far too many laws. I didn't realize it was like this till a few years ago, but basically, the way the governors are making the laws, the way the politicians make laws, is they always create extra laws without erasing the old laws. The old laws all still sit on the books, I understand, but if there's any conflict between an old law and a new law, the new law is considered to be right and the old law wrong. So that way, I guess it saves the Parliament the time of bothering to erase laws, which would take quite a lot of time. But it would be extremely helpful because whenever I look up laws, I'm always running into the problem is where the hell is this law, because there's years and years of acts of Parliament, and there it's just really hard to find. You need a bit of an expert to find where the relevant laws are. So, for example, laws about traffic are just all over the history of law. You got to look at different years, and that's why you have legal experts who know all these things off by heart. But it's not much good to you or I. A last little idea I had. Oh, I should add to that the simple solution to that is they just erase old laws and just have one set of laws and put them in an order of like topics. So it'd be really because you can have all the pardon me for my terrible English there. You can have all the laws governing, say, traffic all in one place. It should be pretty easy. And all in plain English with lots of examples, which if you don't get it in the first paragraph, they can say, oh, there's a few extra paragraphs just to explain the same point. So you can be absolutely sure of it. So a last point is that I thought of, which is I noticed when I was wondering whether it was legal or not to have L plates on my car when don't have a learner driver in the car, is to have laws saying what is permitted rather than just laws about what is not permitted. So the laws can just for clarification, can just have some lines saying something that is allowed, rather than reading between the lines about what is, trying to look through all the laws about something to find out whether something is allowed, which is something I believe they don't do at present. So those are my ideas about legalese. Your contributions are more than welcome. All the best. Bye.